Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Cancer is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. All right. Queen of Swords. Sort of a Gemini energy. I feel like this is you. We've had this card for you recently. This is you trying to get out of your own emotions and seeing things for what they are, seeing the reality of things. You know, I sometimes wonder if we get so bogged down with our feelings that we can't really see the wood for the trees. You know, that we can't see the bigger picture, the bigger context, that we don't always see ourselves the way other people see us, right? Kind of the idea of you hear your voice on tape and it just, who's that person? Happens to me if I watch any of the videos. I usually don't watch my readings, but if I do, I'm kind of like, who's that guy? You know, we don't always perceive ourselves the way others do. We don't always perceive ourselves in a very accurate way. We can't look at ourselves objectively, right? The only way we look at ourselves is through a mirror, through sort of what is bouncing off of other things, showing us a bit of who we are. You know, we feel certain things, we think certain things, we have this interior life. But to go outside and look in is sometimes a good idea, right? It's sometimes an interesting process, and I think right now you're someone trying to do that, or you need to, because I think that the way you feel and think, your interior life, I think you need to look at yourself in a different light, okay? I feel like your significance in this world is greater than you imagine it to be. I feel like you're chosen, okay? And I feel like you don't recognize. I feel like you're very good at something and you're doing a wonderful job somewhere, but you don't realize it. Okay? Because your interior world still feels inadequate, or feels not good enough, or not enough, not successful enough, that you haven't done enough. You know, we're still sort of wrapped up in these emotions of ourselves that we're not really seeing us for who we really are in the context of the greater world. Yeah. So let's take a deeper look. Let's put this card into some context. We've got the Star. Oh, gosh. See, maybe this is seeing yourself in the spiritual light, seeing yourself for the star that you really are. The Ace of Pentacles, 5 of Wands, 4 of Wands, but the 7 of Swords. See, no matter how much we try, we're always going to have these doubts about ourselves, and this is a human thing. It's never going to go away. Okay, but the 6, you know, we try to just stay in the harmony. We try to stay in the flow. We try to stay on course. We try to stick to our divine plan. Sometimes we get off balance. We get into a 7 of Swords, but the goal is to always come back to the harmony. That's what life is. It's an ever constant struggle for harmony, reacting against and you know, if you think about, you're trying to stand up straight. Well, what are you doing? But you're trying to remain balanced when gravity is trying to pull you this way or that way, right? And so we're trying to stay balanced in that sweet spot where it doesn't feel like it's so much effort, right? But we know that at some point we're going to start leaning, and we're going to have to use our muscles to bring us back to, you know, I try to sit straight in my chair, you know, but in a comfortable way, so I'm not slouched and I'm not leaning. But it's like that with life. We try to get that sweet spot of harmony, but very, very often, just lost my light there. That's weird. I usually don't see myself in this light. I don't think you do either. Hopefully we're still recording. We'll keep pushing through. Maybe the light will come on. Maybe I'll try to fix it. But anyway, we realize that falling out of balance is life, and the whole key to everything is just trying to get back to center. Okay, and I feel like that's what you're doing anyway with the Six of Swords here. We got the Wheel of Fortune. That's very, very good. It's crazy. It's crazy we lost that light. That light does not blink out. It never has. But now suddenly that's it, right? No warning. Very weird. We've got a Tower. Yes, Tower moment, and a very nice Libra energy with the Adjustment card there. So this seems very, very nice to me. I feel that you're a person that's very organized. You know, I feel that you keep things in order. You keep your plans very well established and organized, and you know, everything in your life seems to have its place. You know, I feel like your desk is always neat, right? I mean, mine's kind of not that way. Maybe I should be more like you, Cancer. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. It's going to go down right here with our very own little horse, Mr. Ed. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end, okay? I'm looking at myself on the monitor. It's just strange, right? It's dim. If you have a prediction for that card, please put it down in the comments, okay? We can do it together. We can make it a group exercise of intuition. I think your intuition right now is on point. Okay, let's look around the room. We've got major, 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 major. So the Star card, of course, is it's the revelation of that great mystery of the world. Who am I, and why am I here? Right? So the light tries to fill us up and show us who we are. Tries to show us where our blockages are, where our stubborn spots, our sore spots. Shows us where our buttons and knots of karma are, so that we can work on them. The more we work on them, the more the light starts to shine outward from us. Okay, and as the light shines outward from us, we're able to see a little bit more of our path and realize that we do have a destiny, we do have a fate. Okay, and I think that there is a sort of a struggle or a duality. So that's not going to work. You're not going to be able to see the cards. It's terrible. I apologize. Why don't I see if I can fix that really quick, at least for the time being. Bear with me 1 second. I'm going to just move over here, try to go around the camera, knock everything over. There we go. There we go. All right. It's back on for now, anyway. It seems sort of okay for the time being. We have a sometimes duality between these two cards, right? Because this is what Spirit's telling you, but this is the way you see things, you know? And this, again, it's the idea of, you know, we're getting this confirmation, we're getting this synchronicity. We feel this to be true on some level, but at the same time, our mind and our heart is sort of, we're looking at ourselves and thinking, it's not me, you know, or I'm not that person, you know. So we try to take ourselves out of our sort of humanness, our tendencies, our habits of thought and feeling, and we try to see what the world sees. We try to see what the starlight is really showing us here, okay? And I think when we are able to see that a little bit more clearly and recognize what Spirit is telling us about our path, about ourselves, the rest of these major arcana sort of activate too. The greater success in the external world, right? The Jupiter energy, Wheel of Fortune in the environment, expanding, growing, life's getting better. There is rewards for you, right? We also activate the Tower energy, which is not what we want. We don't like towers. I don't feel like you like surprises. I don't feel like you want your routine disrupted. Again, we sort of like the orderly energy, okay? We like the feeling of things being in their place and there being kind of a routine established. The Tower sets all of that stuff upside down, overturns everything, right? It's going to scribble all over your itinerary. And so this is a disruption in life, and it's never fun, but usually it's for a very good reason, and it leads to much better things, right? So sometimes, Spirit's going to come in and just tear up our plans and throw them out the window. And that's a shock to us. So we don't like that. It disturbs us. We feel now anxiety. We feel lost. We feel like frantic, crazy. But we realize then with the Libra energy here, the adjustment card, is that Spirit's taking the wheel. Spirit is sort of adjusting our course for us. Okay, I really do. With these cards, I feel like you're chosen. And I feel like the rewards are out there for you. And I think you just have to start seeing yourself in this light that everybody else can see. Everybody else knows how great you are, and you've got to acknowledge that, accept your divine energy in life, and go out and fulfill your nature. Do what you are supposed to do in the world. Give your gift out to the world and experience the rewards of that. Yeah. We've got fire. We don't have any water here, which is interesting. I would expect there to be more water energy here, but maybe the water energy is sort of missing because, well, Cancer, sometimes you have a tendency to over-intellectualize or mentalize things. And maybe the air energy that we see here and here, and over here, is you doing just that. You're kind of mentalizing your feelings rather than feeling what they feel like and dealing with the feelings, right? We got to deal with how we feel. We're intellectualizing them. Okay, so that could be a reason why there's an absence of the water cards. But we do have our air, and we do have a little bit of earth down here at the bottom. So let's talk about that earth card since it's here, right? It's the Ace of Pentacles. This is, I think, underneath it all, I think you realize that there is something that Spirit has been pushing you to do. But you've yet to take the first step on something. This is a card that says, maybe we know what the first step is, we just haven't done it yet, but we need to. And so this is kind of like you have all of these things ready to go, the resources or whatever are there, and you know exactly what it's going to be, but you just haven't done it. It's like the bags are packed, the bags are by the door, but just not doing it. And it's not ready. I don't know if I even want it. Don't know if I'm supposed to go on this trip or not, But everything's there and waiting for you. And really, it's kind of scary. There's anxiety there, Anytime we start a new project or a new path or we go on this big journey, it feels a little odd, because we're pushing away from this comfortability. We're pushing out of the harmony, basically, right? And that's kind of what we see with the 6 and the 7, but also the 4 and the 5, right? And that's what we see too with the Libra energy versus the Tower. There's balance and order, and then there's chaos, right? There's cosmos, there's chaos. There's cosmos and or maybe chaos here. Cosmos here, chaos here. So there is this, we're sort of intentionally getting out of our comfort zone. We're intentionally falling away from harmony so that we can harmonize again. And so you're being asked, I think, to do a very difficult thing. Yeah. And the 5 of Wands back here is you've already done difficult things in your life. So anytime we get a 5, right, we start looking for the 4. And all you want, I think, is a life that's easy, routine, structured. There's balance, there's organization, there's harmony, right? There's habit. We want that. And I think a lot of us are creatures of habit. We get into a routine that seems to be working. It seems like there are no real problems with it. It may not be perfect, but what is? So we'll accept it. We'll be okay with it. But Spirit's saying, maybe when we get that 4, we're going to go back to a 5. Every time you get harmony, you're going to fall out of balance again, and the idea is to always be bringing it back. It's kind of like when your thought wanders in meditation, you just sort of bring it back to center and try to hold it there, and you wait for it to go out again, you bring it back. So I think that you've already had a lot of adventures in life. And if you were to look at your life in this way, I think you'd begin to see a little bit more clearly how special and how spectacular you really are. Because of all of the things that you've already done or accomplished or have overcome. Right? But it's kind of like Cancer, when you succeed at something, even when you get a big win and it's the world is celebrating you, you don't always feel it. And maybe that's the absence of the water energy too, that you're not always feeling the joy. You're not really able to feel what other people are sort of feeling about you. You've overcome something, right? And you're being celebrated. It should feel really good for you, but I just wonder if there's kind of even a little bit of apathy, where it's just like you don't feel the joy that is supposed to be yours right now, right? And maybe we mentalize it a little bit too much. Spirit's saying you should have faith in your talents. Whatever this Ace of Pentacles is, go do it, because it is you, it is your path, it is your mission, and this Ace is going to become stability. It's going to become a nice cycle and routine for you. It's going to become successful. We have wheel after wheel after wheel. Okay? You start this, you'll have the harmony again. You're going out of phase for a minute to do something new, but it's going to stabilize. It's going to be okay. It's going to be a routine, and it's going to be a darn successful one. But we've got to overcome that sort of reluctance to do something out of the box, to do something that takes us out of our comfort, out of our routine, out of our familiarity. Okay. The Four of Wands is just that. It is familiarity. It is the idea that, our life, our days, even our hours are a circle. Right? Even you think of an hour on an analog clock, it goes around one time, that's an hour. Goes around again, that's another hour. Very predictable. Very easy to read, right? There's nothing crazy about it, nothing to figure out, nothing to feel about. It's just we know it. And so I feel like your hours, but then the days and the months and the years, right, are very rhythmic for you. And we sort of like that. And in that sense, I think your days go by very quickly. Your hours go by very quickly. Pretty soon, the clock has made a circle so many times, we've sort of lost count. And the days, go by fairly quickly too. But how significant are they to you? Okay. How meaningful do you find all those hours and all those days? So that's the one thing about the Tower. It may be disruptive. It may be kind of dangerous even. It may be a little scary and a little hectic. Maybe a little bit of chaos in your life. But you'll remember it. It will be a significant event in your life, a significant series of events. It's an experience that you will remember for the rest of your life. When we're in the Four, it kind of, to me, this is sort of how we're building a tower up. We're going around stacking the bricks up, Feels like we're going in a circle, but we're building the tower higher and higher and higher and higher. One round of bricks, a little bit of mortar, more bricks, and we're going up, up, up. And so this is sort of a life that we're not always going to remember. These days and years go by so fast that, are we collecting a lot of memories? Are we collecting significant events, moments, experiences? The ones that we do remember, of course, are the fives, the sevens. The towers represent all of that. The towers are just the pure active energy. The towers are change, very abrupt change. Towers are the exclamation points of life. Okay. So I don't know if this is, talking about just your life path generally, or if there was something that was going on. I feel like something, I don't know, if somebody deceived you or something was taken from you or stolen even, but somebody did you wrong. That's what this 5 is, I'm pretty sure. And now we're in this 4. And then we don't want to leave this. This is fine. This is good. Everything's finally getting back to normal, right? And then here comes Spirit with, of course, the revelation. Maybe you've been having more dreams or more sort of daydreams or like memories even. Memories of a life like that you haven't lived yet, You have a deja vu thing. I don't know if that's it or not. The light is messing me up. I feel that there are even synchronicities and very obvious signs from spirit, right, that are urging you toward a certain path, a certain first step on a path, but you're sort of resisting that energy, okay? And the Seven of Swords, of course, is us trying everything we can do to find an excuse not to go. We've got our bags packed, but it's like, oh, well, I still have to feed the cats, you know. Oh, I've still got to do the taxes. I got to pay the bills. I got to wash the windows. You know, I got to take the car to get it serviced. I can't go. Looking for every excuse to say, not my job, not my bag, not my destiny, you know. But it is. Yeah. And it's kind of like you've got to accept that you do deserve this path forward as you know, it's funny how humans are like that sometimes. There's this very wonderful opportunity. You go do something that anybody would, you know, give their right arm to go do. But Cancer, sometimes you're going to say, no, I don't want to do it. Why? It's fun. Well, maybe it's not fun to you. Maybe the idea of having to get outside of your comfort zone and do something loud and with a lot of people and, you know, it doesn't sound fun to you. Right? But it's even this idea of you're being rewarded with these tremendous gifts, these blessings, and you don't want to do it because you don't want everybody looking at you. And you don't want to have to figure out what to say to the person to say thank you, or like, what camera am I supposed to look in, you know? I don't think you like the spotlight. You do, but on your terms. Yeah, on your terms. And so it's important that you do the work that we talked about right here in the middle and get that perspective so that this is on your terms. But it's on Spirit's terms, which are your terms. It's the same thing, you know? That you have to align your terms with the spiritual terms, and then I think you're going to find that you do have the confidence, you do have the power, the creativity, you do have the mind, you do have the emotions, you do have the support of Spirit to do this thing. You're the only one that can. You're the only one that can fulfill your true nature and do your will. No one can do it for you, right? No one can force you to do it. But this is, you know, this is kind of that card. The ace in the middle says we know what we need to do, but all the other little swords are things, well, just hang on 1 second. You know, got to do some other stuff. And it's like, how long are we going to keep ourselves waiting? Yeah. We're going to talk about the path of the serpent now. And as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free, and it supports the channel, and I'm going to have to buy another light. I appreciate you anyway. Well, I'll get the light fixed. It's not a big deal. But over here, general energy, we've got that Six of Swords. I feel like this is now you realizing what the divine plan is. It's kind of like you accept it, and you realize that this is, you're now in harmony with it, so it doesn't feel like a struggle or a fight. It doesn't feel like you're sort of out of harmony with anything, you know. Back in harmony with the divine plan. And I think that, you know, you're putting forth the effort now. You're taking this first step. This is the card of communication, but I think that this is the card of sort of following the river, but not fully trusting in anything. You're still bringing your swords along with you. You're still bringing your doubts and your concerns and your insecurities and whatever. But you're going forward. You're doing it. You're not staying at home, you know. Sometimes I watch, let's say we watch videos on YouTube or something of people doing things, activities out in the world, and we laugh at them because they're just, oh, look, they're so scared, you know, they're crying like a baby, like they're skydiving or whatever. But I try not to do that because I think, at least they did it. At least they're there. You know, they may be screaming like a 5-year-old, but they're there and they're doing it. You know, whereas you can't catch me on a plane skydiving. Ain't no way. So you know, it's we shouldn't be so worried about what the experience will be like. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to take you out of your comfort zone. You don't know really how you're going to react, what you're going to do. You could have a plan set up, but you don't know if that's really going to be the way it'll go down. The biggest accomplishment is getting yourself there, pushing yourself to do it. And maybe we'll be really embarrassed by how we behave, but hey, at least we're doing it, right? And I think that itself is such a huge accomplishment for us, is to just get outside of our comfort zone and to try something new, right? We laugh at other people who are doing things and maybe they look silly, they look funny, right? But they're out there doing it. And maybe they don't care how they look, right? Because for them, it's the overcoming of ourselves, the overcoming of our own inertia, having the spiritual energy to move ourselves from a state of rest. Yeah. And of course, we're moving right into our Wheel of Fortune, which is a very prosperous, very successful life. This is going to be a very rewarding time for you. Whatever it is that you're going to be beginning, if this is a new creative project, if this is you're finally putting yourself out there, you're going to go ask for the raise or whatever it is. We're sort of afraid to ask for a promotion because it just means more work. It means I'm going to have to learn a new place, new thing, get to know the people, and it's just, I don't know. Maybe you want to switch jobs, but it's just like then the whole process of getting comfortable again. Yeah. Spirit is going to richly reward you for your efforts. Okay. Your life is expanding. Your life is growing. And you're growing with it. It is part of your destiny, part of your plan. We've got to take the initiative, to step forward into it. It's going to be disruptive. It's going to be tower, but it's going to be significant. Now, again, the tower moment is like an exclamation point on your life. You are not going to forget this. Something you're going to tell your kids and your grandkids about, right? This is the skydiving. This is the asking for a promotion. This is the switching jobs to do what you really wanted, have been wanting to do, and Spirit has been urging you to do, but we've been standing with our bags by the door. We haven't done it yet. We are inviting the chaos into our lives for a time being in order to achieve a higher level of stability and harmony. Spirit is saying this might be a chance for you to relocate. So I don't know if this is kind of like this really big, scary thing that you've always known is part of your path. It's time to do it. It's time to do it. You've been chosen. You've been selected to do it, and you can't, you can say no, but it's just like, you got to get up on stage. It's like when you're at a magician show, magic show, and the magician says, you there in the front row, you come up on stage, and you're like, no, not me. No, not me. It's fun and cute to do that for a minute, but the magician's like, no, seriously, get up here. You have to do it. You know what I mean? And maybe you'll be silly, maybe you'll be embarrassed, and you'll say the wrong thing, and you'll put your foot in your mouth, and maybe you'll drop the whatever scarves that he's throwing around or something, but you're going to remember that for the rest of your lives. Okay? And I think it is bringing you a higher level of stability, higher level of success. The rewards are going to be there. Okay? We've got to take that. We've got to be willing to look silly. We've got to be willing to swallow our embarrassment and our insecurity and get up on stage and do it. I wonder about this mystery card. Let's take a look at it. It's going to be the Magician, right? I betcha. Magician, or I would like to see some more pentacles or some water energy. Obviously, we need the water energy. Those are my predictions. If you have one, comments, put it down there. See what we have. If you can even see it, 3 of Cups. Oh yeah. This is celebration. This is all the joy. This is you're up there on stage, and this is when it really feels good, and you're letting yourself just express your joy however it comes out. You don't have to mentalize it. It's like when something really good happens to you and you're so self-conscious that you want to jump and shout for joy, but you're not, because everyone's going to see you. This 3 of Cups is saying that this is just, you're letting yourself react. You're letting your heart react however it needs to. from this thing. You know, if it's you like screaming and running around in a circle or whatever it is, jumping up and down, this is that intense emotional energy. It's even like when you're skydiving, you may be scared out of your mind, right? But this is the feeling of exhilaration. And if you're screaming, you're screaming. If you're whatever, you know, you're allowing yourself this natural reaction to what you're doing. And I think that this is also a confirmation that this is going to be really good, that this is going to be really positive for you. Yeah, that this is going to make your life better. This is something to celebrate. This is a gift, whatever you're moving into in life. You're going to be celebrating. Okay? But you just gotta get out there and do it. Yeah. Go collect your reward. We're going to do an extended reading too. If you want to stick around, there is a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Cancer are Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. And leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Let me know what this kind of is for you if you want. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.